Ghana for for any obi biara aha Ghanatube so modofo snowy any abusian for matana say maji akonye die no mehu say ai ensem no edoso ye pa eno na mede boy say wonsom no eno eni nipa abusian for entempa no di mechie na ensem bia ewo ho ana say bia ekoso ewo manganim no say memfa ensom di mechi.
The Minister for Education, Haruna Idrisu, has announced plans to rename the C.K. Tedam University of Technology and Applied Sciences. There's a bill to that effect, according to the minister, will soon be laid before Parliament. This comes as part of a broader move, according to the minister, to rename selected public universities across the country. Take a listen.
In a decision to review the names of some of the universities, and therefore I will be presenting a bill to Parliament after a committee that I'll be putting in place review it.
The minister stressed that the renaming exercise is not intended to diminish the legacy of individuals the universities were named after.
Of many of the public universities that were done under the tenure of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. It is not to say that those individuals are not deserving of it, but we would need to do it in a manner that recognizes, as I said, foundational ethos and historical identities. President Mahama have pledged a 24-hour economy. We've heard some of the naysayers saying that it's impossible, it will not succeed. It will succeed if institutions such as Tamale Technical University produces the entrepreneurial class that will not be dependent on the public sector but can generate businesses of their own.
Well, so that's the Minister of Education, Haruna Idrisu, there. Now, talk about the institutions, tertiary institutions that were named, in some cases renamed by the former president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, generated a lot of conversation at the time. A number of persons predicted that this was going to be reversed if there's a change in administration. We're seeing that playing right before our eyes at the moment. But this is it. This is a list that was put together by Kofi Asare, Executive Director of the Africa Education Watch. But take a look at this. The University of Mines and Technology, UMAT, was renamed to George Grant University of Mines and Technology in 2018. That's how it started. Then UDS, the WA campus, was elevated to full university status, renamed Simon Diadong Dombo University of Business and Integrated Development Studies. Long one. In 2020. Then same year, the UDS Navrongo campus was granted autonomy and renamed C.K. Tedam University of Technology and Applied Sciences in 2020. Now, the University of Education Winneba, Kumasi and Mampong campuses, which were formerly satellite campuses of the University of Education Winneba, were merged and reconstituted as the Akinting Apia Menka University of Skills, Training and Entrepreneurial Development, same year, 2020. Then we had the WA Technical University, also renamed Dr. Hila Liman Technical University, and some of the proposed renaming that never took place. Just a few of them. University of Energy and Natural Resources, the proposed name was to be Kofi Abrefa Buzia University of Energy and Natural Resources. That never happened. Ho Technical University was proposed to be renamed as Dr. Efremamu University, and then you recall the one on the University of Ghana, an attempt to rename it as well, the conversation on it. Dr. Peter Patianti is the Executive Director of the Institute for Education Studies, one of the foremost CSOs we have in the education space in this country and beyond, is joining us on Zoom right now. Appreciate your time. I recall that when this entire exercise was started by the previous administration, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, in 2018, you had predicted that this is going to be reversed. And we're seeing that play out right before our eyes, is it not?
Sure, Alfred. Good evening to your viewers. Yes, I think that is exactly what is happening. I feel a little bit worried about the trend that we seem to be having in our educational system, where every individual or every government would want to do something that they will feel it's a legacy that they have left in the sector. It is worrying, and I hope that we should get to a stage where we will be able to stop all this.
I see, but if you talk about stopping this trend, what should be done? Because as you indicated when all of this was started by Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, you pointed out the partisanship in this and the politics of things in there as well, and why this was problematic. So what is going to be done, or what has to be done to ensure this doesn't happen?
You see, normally some of these things should build up within the institution itself, and so that you don't end up getting that external influence. And that is why, personally, I feel that this notification from the minister wouldn't have come from the minister. I feel that some of the names that are given to our universities should come from within, and that's the same point that I made some years back, that these things need to be built up within the university system, because it is more about a brand identity. It is more about the university's brand that is being put out there, and such a brand should not come from people outside the university community. It should come from within the university community and build up to the university council. Then that proposition can be made to whoever is in charge of the education sector, and then they can pick it up from there. When it comes from the politician who is in charge of the ministry, then it means that the next minister we put there would also have who also wants to do something, would also want to do something similar like that, like we are seeing in the current situation. So I feel that in order to curb this, we need the universities to come out with their, we need these things to come out from the university itself. Let me give you a typical example. You talk about UMAT. How many people have you heard them talk about George Grant University of Mines and Technology? Most people are not even aware that UMAT was renamed after George Grant. You see, that is the point. So if it is not something that is coming from within the university, it is alien to the university community, and it will not be attached to the various activities of that particular university, because they do not recognize it. But if it is built, if it builds from the university, then it becomes part and parcel of the university community, and therefore the name would be recognized within the university and outside the university. So constant changing of the names is problematic for the university in terms of its branding, in both locally and then in the international circles. Today it is this, the next 4 years it is that. How do you reconcile this within the international community in terms of the education space? Somebody attends the university from, let's say, South Africa, and it is University of let me use my University of Cape Coast. Then after 4 years he left and he wants to come back. Then it is Peter Enti University of Cape Coast. You see the confusion you are creating for the university in terms of its brand identity outside the local system, and even within the local system, people are not even able to associate with the university very well. So we need to tread cautiously in this process of renaming.
I see, but then if you hear the minister nowadays to talk about engagement with the university authorities and other stakeholders in the process of reversing these renamed universities, will that take the box of the concern that you raised about these names coming from within and amongst the university community?
So within the mind of in the mind of the minister, what he's doing is reversal and not renaming. So that is a little bit okay, because he's going to reverse the names to its original name or what, we really don't know. But if I am advising the minister, I wouldn't ask him to put this out there, because you have to start the conversation. Let the conversation begin within the university community. Okay, as I said, nobody cares about George Grant University of Mindset Technology. So let the conversation start within the university. Let it build up to the university council. Of course, you swear in the university council. Most of the people in there are people that you relate well with, and then you can find a way to go around this. I wouldn't advise that you put it out there, because the moment you do that, it becomes a political conversation, and definitely. The next 4 years, the next 8 years, or even within the same government, even a different minister can take a different position about all this. But for him, he wants to do a reversal to the original names. I think if that is what he wants to do, then the conversation would have to be initiated by him within to the university community, so that they are in line with whatever it is that he wants to do. But if I'm advising him, I wouldn't put this out there in the media space. We'll have the conversation within the university community, build it up to the university council, and then get the momentum so that we'll be able to do what we need to do.
Doc, appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us. Dr. Peter Pate Anti is the Director of the Institute for Education Studies, IFES.
Yo, for Yako Abba, would say in some no essay, or there, and I say, I know their day, and what didn't for our didn't know, a wookie me, a comment section or Naminja Bray and Kinkai Emma for Aha, a Ghanatube, so I was for society, my crowd.